Hey 3000 GT fans, RenegadeTechworks here, giving you an update on the new controller that I've been working on, the Model 03, and explanation of why I'm no longer going to be taking any orders for the old Model 02. Basically, the short answer is I just don't want to sell any more of the old design. The new design will do everything that one did, plus with the new options I'm adding in. It'll make it just a little bit easier for me to maintain these units, and I just want anybody who wants to order one in the near future to get the latest design, and then an option to upgrade later if they want. The old Model 02 is not upgradable to the new Model 03, so that's why I don't want to sell any more of those. It's a nice solid manual controller. Just with the new one, I'm going to have a lot more options of what I can do. First obvious difference you can see is one of the options I'm giving is the integrated LED lights directly onto the controller. That'll give you instant status display. As you can see there, they're all showing all four struts in hard mode, and for you console fans that means sport mode. And just to show you it's live, here's my four test struts over here that I use to test each controller with and been doing all the design with. In terms of the status diagnostic display, in the new controller, it's going to work pretty much exactly like it did in the old one, especially when you're in manual mode. So if I push the ECS switch here and go to the next state of the struts, you'll notice that it'll go to the medium LED setting, which is that turquoise color, and on the console, just like before, it's doing tour and sport, showing that it's in medium mode. Also, if I go to the next one, same difference. It's putting them now in soft mode, the blue color, which is soft mode over here on the console tour. So LEDs are pretty much going to work exactly the same. You'll have instant readout, and again, you'll have the option of having the remote LEDs on the console if you want those, want to add that in, either in a retrofit or an add-on to the existing OEM system. So that'll be there. The integrated LED lights would just be really nice for instant diagnosis, regardless of whether you're using the console or the front panel LEDs. Also, one thing before I open up the controller, this is part of the reason why it's going to take me so long. Notice the way that the struts change control. It does front left, then front right, then rear left, then rear right, which is fine for the manual controller, but hold that thought as I open up the boxes and kind of show you the difference here. So here's the old design, the Model 02, and then this is the new design for the Model 03. You can see that kind of changed the layout and added in additional electronics to handle everything that's going on. The other big difference on this first one is that I have to redo the design. You can see I've had to hack in a couple of wires here. I got the initial PCB design wrong in a couple places, so I was able to get this controller working by doing a hack. I'm going to have to redo the boards. That'll be several weeks before I get those back in terms of the final design. But in terms of prototyping and validating the design, everything seems to be working now that I got that adjusted. The other big difference here for the Model 03 is I've got heat sinks on the power supplies and the motor controller chips, because those are going to be active components now. And why they're going to be active more so than they were before is because of this. That little blue daughter board that's hanging on the top there is a 3-axis accelerometer that will enable me to add into the software an automated control mode like the original OEM system had, but I'm going to give some additional options even beyond what that one had. So I'm looking forward to really kind of having the full manual mode I've got now for hard, medium, soft, and then give some really nice options for the auto mode that the original OEM system didn't have. Because of the auto mode, I'm literally having to rewrite the software from scratch because of the fact that the struts now need to work in parallel and not sequentially, like I was showing you in the first press. Again, as a reminder, right now the current version of the software does each strut one at a time. With that 3-axis accelerometer in auto mode, the struts will need to work in parallel, so that if you're braking, for example, the front struts will need to stiffen up immediately in parallel and not do one and then the other. So that really needed to change the entire software loop and how everything was done. So it pretty much amounted to a rewrite of about 3,000 or 4,000 lines of code. So that's going to take me a while. Once I get the hardware design battened down, I'll be able to ship the new hardware design controller with the old software, and then I'll give you an option for upgrading the software once the new software comes out. So kind of thinking that I'm going to price, the bare bones controller the way the old controller was, the Model 02, at the original price, and then give you the option for the automated accelerometer and the add-in LEDs, which is extra labor and parts to put that in the controller. So everything else, pretty much be the same. You'll still have all the diagnostics. For example, if I disconnect the front left strut here, I'm undoing the wiring harness with my left hand. You just got a signal fault on that front left indicator, and then if the strut has failed, as I push the ECS switch again, you'll get the red LED indicator. So again, a lot of the same features that I worked out on the original Model 2 design, obviously carrying over into Model 3, and looking forward to rolling out the new automated functions. I'm going to give you the option of updating the controllers yourself with a firmware update, so that'll also be a nice thing. You'll need a firmware update cable as I tune the software, and that's basically how I'm going to allow the new controller design to ship even before I finish the software. So there you go. Looking forward to getting this out and adding some new features to the capability. Cheers.